Why do people lose their sense of purpose in life? Meaning is not a philosophical category, it is a stably activated motivational network in the brain. The key system is the mesolimbic dopamine pathway from the ventral area to the nucleus accumbens, which creates the feeling of wanting, encodes reward, and then moves to the prefrontal cortex, which develops strategies for achieving goals. Dopamine is released not for pleasure, but for movement toward a goal, anticipation, novelty, and meaningful prospects. When there is a meaningful goal, this complex system sustains the energy of life. Why can material success turn off motivation? When a person's value system is built around external markers, money, possessions, social status, the brain encodes them as the final goal. When the goal is achieved, the novelty disappears and the dopamine response drops. The brain does not release dopamine for what has already been achieved. If there are no more meaningful goals, the motivational network weakens. This feels like emptiness, loss of meaning, lack of energy, and apathy. Why do suicidal thoughts appear? It's important. Suicidal thoughts are not a desire to die, but rather an extreme signal indicating the breakdown of the motivational architecture. When there is no goal, the brain perceives the state as hopeless and static, and evolutionarily, the brain is not adapted to a state of eternal stagnation. The way out? Why is it important and difficult to find one's purpose? The human brain is fundamentally programmed with social scenarios and environmental expectations. It's a system. These patterns are embedded in neural networks down to the genetic level, which is why it is so difficult for a person to go beyond socially implanted goals. 3 stages of overcoming an existential crisis: neurobiologically, deconstructing false beliefs, weakening the automatic neural connections created by social programming. Generating a new direction involves working with the default mode network, which is responsible for generating creative ideas and going beyond one's own logic, as well as forming a new meaningful goal. Implementation: creating a real project. Because dopamine is sustained not by dreaming, but by moving toward realization. Without action, neuroplasticity does not become established. Why do only a few people manage to get out of this state? Biology pulls us toward the simple, comfort and predictability, while breaking free requires uncertainty and the destruction of old patterns. That's why most people remain wandering, going in circles, searching for quick fixes, retreats, psychologists, or magical experiences. But without systematic neuroplastic work and real action, the brain's architecture does not change. I, Alexander Kudashev, have developed a systematic program for working with neuroplasticity and the brain's idea generation zone. The program is based on neuroscience data and my own international entrepreneurial experience, where I help participants form new goals not just as ideas, but as actionable business strategies that inspire a new motivation for life and require new resources and knowledge.